was also took a loss this year with the death of Nipsey Hussle. Now, with all the RIPs to Nipsey Hussle that came out, I saw a lot of fake love come out of hip hop towards Nipsey Hussle as well. And I want to know, did the Nipsey Hussle death affect you the same way, you know, Pac or Biggie's death affected you? Or did it affect you in a way where now that you're more older and circumspect, you see what that impact was rather than a musical impact in your life?
Okay, let me start off. With Pac and Big, when Pac died, I was a freshman in high school, and Big died, I was a sophomore. So obviously, with them being older, it made me look at them like, dad, they were so much older. With me being at my age now and being older than Nipsey Hussle myself, I was like, they killed such a young man, a father. They took a man's life off of absolute nothing. And, you know, when you're young, when you're 14, somebody 25, they grown, they can drive, they can drink. You think they so grown. You know, as I got older, I realized how young Tupac was. And you start realizing, yeah, 25, you're still young and dumb. So to still see somebody, Nipsey, who was moving and making moves, and to him to lose his life as such, you know, he was 32, probably, or 32, 33. And to me to say, yo, he was a young man. It hit me differently because I was like, it made me realize at my age now how much he could have performed more, how much more he could have did, how much more, and to take his life off of.
I got PTSD. It was Tupac all over again for me.
For you?
It was Tupac all over again. Tupac died at 25. It was literally like to me it was like the same feeling.
How old was
my
Tupac died?
breath took away. That was 96. I'm 41, about to be 42.
So you're still in high school.
Yeah.
You're still in high school.
So I was a huge fan still.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was literally that breath took it away. Like, nah, that ain't just happening.
It was a little deeper for us because Napoleon. Shout out to you, bro, but Muta, but
yeah,
I remember the day he told me when we was in school. He was like, "Yo, B, I'm about to roll with Pop." I'm like, "You sure, bro? You sure this is gonna work?" He's like, "Trust me." I wake up, I see on Video Music Box, I see Move with a white jacket, and I see him walking with Pac. I said, "Oh shit, he wasn't playing." So
it was very personal.
So for us, it was like, "Yo, that's a big move. Like that's real. That was real for me because I've known that guy for a long time, but." To see Pac like go like that, and to see Nipsey. See, the thing about Nipsey was,
and we saw the murder. Like we actually saw the murder.
Let me make this point.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're right. But the thing about Nipsey was, when he was making his way, his whole objective. When he had an interview one day when he was first coming out, he said, "What you want to?" They asked him, "What you want to do?" "Man, nigga, I'm about to invest." He caught me different with that. I was like, "Oh, okay." So he's not one of those guys. All right, let me see what he's doing. Then as mixtape, and then he sold the mixtape for $100 and Jay-Z. But then you see that others are listening. That was a big move. So then I'm like, okay, he wants to do more than just music then, because this is not the end game right here. As far as just, I'm just gonna be this music, I'm just gonna be influential with my music. Nah. But to see the things that he was doing behind the scenes, dispensaries, helping the kids, trying to build the community, stuff like that. Even though sidebar, I know this shit was a setup. I know the setup is real. But
don't want to get us cut off. Don't get us cut off Facebook.
The setup is real, but I'm gonna just leave it at that. That's why I wrote that piece on my wall about my apologies, because this is the way it works. And what that demonstrated to me was, if you see somebody get that big, like to the point where, okay, we talking about rebuilding communities, trying not to gentrify, but you're still gentrifying either way, but you're changing the community, changing the aspect of the mindset. You can just tell when you start doing stuff like that, it's ball game. It's ball game.
He said before he died, it's a blessing when you have powerful enemies.
Yeah.
And to think that, imagine somebody, a rapper from North, coming up and buying Broad Market.
That's me.
Let's go, young Sal.
Imagine that. Imagine somebody
South Orange and 12 and 10. He went straight in the hood. He was in the hood. Like he brought where ambassadors used to be at on South Orange and 10.
Yeah, that's
like you brought in the slums of the slums. You brought a mini mall. I was like, yo,
Bert, what you think?
Well, as a fan of his music, well, I can't say I was a real fan of his music. But again, when he did sell them mixtapes for $100, that really made an impact on just on everybody. Everybody started looking at things a lot different. He made a huge impact with
People
that.
started selling albums again.
But as far as him, being murdered, of course, it's a sad thing. You know what I mean? It's always tragic. Like you said, whenever you hear somebody died, was murdered, who's younger than you, it's always sad. I mean, he was older than me, but I feel what you were saying. But I'm saying that because somebody to me like XXX Tentacion. Now when he passed,
That was crazy too.
When he was murdered, he was I can't remember how old he was, but I know he was younger than me. So that and his music was like
His visuals was crazy.
like for what Kid Cudi was for me, which if you guys don't know, like there's a whole like era of dudes like me. Kid Cudi saved my life.
Me? What?
Kid Cudi saved my life.
The shitload of music.
No, but he saved my life. His music saved my life. You know what I mean? People that deal with
But
a lot of people,
I'm not even.
a lot of young people feel exactly the way he
But I
said.
get it.
They
Yeah.
say, my daughter
It
told me
is
it was
hard.
like it changed. He saved our lives.
Right.
Like,
So same thing with XXX. I felt that because I heard it in his music, and then I seen how I got little brothers and sisters, so I seen how these kids reacted to it, and you know what I mean. And it was, I felt, and it made me think. I'm like, man, what if Kid Cudi died? Oh man, that would crush me. You know what I mean? And I was a fan of XXX music. I thought he was very talented. He was taking this hip hop thing to a whole different level. Like he was just genre bending, which is something that me and my brother love to do. You know what I mean? So I was a real big fan of that. But as far as Nipsey, I wasn't expecting, I'm gonna be honest, for everybody to be as hurt as they were. I wasn't aware of like how and to be honest, certain things bothered me where I felt like people were using his, you know what I mean, which
The marathon and now everybody getting Crenshaw shirts.
yeah, like certain artists was using his name or his death as a promo for their product and stuff like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's a couple
I kill
people.
bitches, marathon continues.
There's a couple.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
No, for instance, like the game said he was gonna post every day Nipsey Hussle picture or something like that. I'm like, yeah, but you still post.
But they was
To be honest, the reason
Right.
that was the reason why Schoolboy said something, and I know like Nipsey wasn't like one of the guys I could sit there and listen to on a day-to-day basis. For me, as far as the music I listen to, he's an acquired taste for me.
Oh, brother, you're alone on that one.
Sorry to tell
That
you.
brother was that.
No, I wasn't.
Because to be honest with you, when he talks about music saving his life, you know what changed everything I listened to? I was so into, okay, we're gonna make hits, we're gonna do this, and then my sister one day said, yo, B, you listen to this dude, Madlib, you listen to this shit called Villainy? As soon as I listened to that, I stopped listening to the radio ever since.
Wow.
Because I realized, like, see, some shit is going on that helped me find Ninth Wonder, Little Brother, that helped me ease the way to find Flying Lotus and stuff like that. So when you talk about when stuff like that, like that, if that was Kid Cudi, imagine if it was some shit that changes your whole mindset.
Yeah.
Let me put this point out. The reason why Nipsey Hussle's death hit me is because we saw it live on, we used to call it real time. We saw it on live. Like you saw the people actually messing with his body. And like when you see when X got killed, you saw footage of it.
Right.
And we're living in the world of Big Brother. So there's phones and video everywhere. When Pac died, I heard about it through television, and then they had Ed Lover talk about it during a Nas concert, and it was like, yo, have a moment of silence because Pac died. Everybody was like, what? And everybody knew Pac had his issues with certain people, but it's like, when somebody dies, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
And like you said, Jizzy said in the song, on the Chess album, he said, hip-hop is the type of thing where when you hear somebody die, the news is devastating, because he's so young, it's so lively. And I remember when Biggie died, Biggie's death hit me harder than Tupac's death. When Biggie died, the radio was silent.
Yeah, it was.
And it's nothing like when you turn on the radio and you hear crying.
Yeah, I remember
When
that.
Pun died, the radio was silent.
I remember that.
when Big L died, only Midnight Radio was signed.
So,
You know why that was though? I'm sorry to interject, but you know why that was too though? Because Pac was like fucking invincible. Remember, he didn't die until 7 days later. So when he first got shot, we all thought he was gonna make it. Oh, this one.
He got shot before.
He ain't got one right now.
Middle finger up, fuck y'all.
I was so shocked.
it took people years for people to come to terms with Tupac's murder. I would say this.
People
when
still
Tupac-
don't believe it.
Yeah, nephew. We call him
I
knuckleheads.
seen Pac in that basket of chicken. What the hell are you talking about?
He in Cuba. He came out. He
Pac in Walmart.
I will tell you
Just
this.
say anything.
I'll tell you this. When Nipsey music came out, I was one of those, oh, ain't no good music out. My boy, he was really big. I'm a shout out my boy Clip. Clippy Clip. He's really big on West Coast music, and he was always telling me, before everybody jumped on Kendrick Lamar, before everybody started jumping on West Coast, he was always telling me, there's this kid named Nipsey Hussle, you gotta sit down and listen to Bullets with No Name. So I go there, listen to Bullets with No Names, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is real music. I was like, he did the joint with MGMK, that
Yeah, I know.
he took that joint and made it rock. And you know, some of us, like we was talking about this music that most of us hip hop heads really kindly listen to.
He is a real hip hop big. He did the beat without no words.
And that's what we all figured out what it was. And it was like, yo, this kid is serious. And I was there waiting every week for every new Nipsey album. So I listened to all the Slauson Boys, all the Bullets with No Names, all the Marathon.
I didn't get on to
I was
it until
on all of them when he started having official videos. When he had the video for
Do it again.
I haven't dug into that. I haven't dug
Let
into
me
it.
say
'Cause
something.
you-
We got chaos in the building. Let's go, chaos. All right.
Y'all making me feel special. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle just set the tone for me of who I keep around me. It was nothing else.
Real talk.
That I got from that, because everybody get, dudes get shot every day. So what I took from was just that the people you keep around you in the music industry, and when you trying to do something else, you got to be real careful about that. So, for me, it kind of, I asked a lot of people off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That thought they was
smaller.
You know what I mean? I just seen when he got shot. I just saw his boys around. I saw his boys around him. I seen people walk up on him, and I saw nobody, really notice. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, as I fall back on that, it's just like the people you keep around you is very important. You know what I'm saying?
That was
Because
another thing.
there's no way in the world I'm gonna let somebody walk up on my homie.
It's real. It's very
And you
real.
gotta be on point. Like, stop thinking.
Just because
It can't happen.
it can't happen to you.
You know what I mean? And I think that if
so many of us lose our lives in our own hoods.
if he could, hear my voice and just be like, yo, homie, I just know that I keep certain people around me, man. I'm always watching my back. Like, I don't never get too comfortable, and I watch the people I do piss off, and I watch, those that smile on my face also. You know what I mean? And I think that as all of us in here artists, we all have people around us. Like, you gotta remember, like, we're not super major right now, but we will be there.
Yes.
And some of the people that you're around, if you feel a vibe around them now, you need to exit. Exit now, don't be afraid to exit them off. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid to cut your.
Wait.
You know what I'm saying?
Go find the seats.
Mud Savage in the building. Trust the Weird Kids album out now.
Yes, sir. Well, you came at the perfect time
We got
because
liquor right there. We got business. We got chicken.
we came at the perfect time because now we're gonna progress the conversation.